guys, it's Michelle Rose here, real estate agent in the DC, Maryland, and Virginia area, and it is February. That means love is in the air, and Valentine's Day is around the corner, and it's still a seller's market. Yes, I had to throw that in there. It's low inventory, lots of buyers out there fighting for homes, and when it comes to that, with buyers being in a seller's market, as a buyer, you are trying your best to make sure that your offer stands out. And what some buyers will try to do is write what I would call a love letter, right? So on top of, drafting a contract or writing up a contract with your agent, they also will write something a little personable to the seller to kind of connect with them and kind of pull on their heartstrings to see if that would kind of be a leg up for them to get their offer accepted. So, for example, a letter could be something like, "Oh, dear Mr. Seller, our family really, really loves your home and we want to make it ours. We have a growing family. We already have one child and have another one along the way. So the extra bedrooms in the home is definitely going to be put to good use. And we do have a son, our first child, who is special needs, and the backyard is going to be a great place for him to be able to run around and enjoy the outdoor weather. And we would love to be able to move in, right before Easter, so that way we can be able to invite our family and have a great celebration during that weekend, during that holiday weekend. So please, Mr. Seller, love to be able for you to accept our offer and be able to move forward in closing with you." All right, sign the buyers. That type of letter, it's nice. However, there could be some issues. If the seller rejects their offer, rejects the buyer's offer, rejects the letter, rejects the offer, and the buyers, receive that response, they could potentially file a discrimination report. There is something called the Fair Housing Act, which protects people who are buying a home, selling a home, renting, applying for a mortgage. They're protected from being discriminated against. And there are certain classes that are protected in the Fair Housing Act, which the Fair Housing Act comes from the Housing and Urban Development, from HUD, and it is regulated through them. Now, in that letter, there are a couple of issues. First of all, mentioning, we are a growing family, so we have one child and a kid along the way. The protected status would be familial status, family, right? So that's protected under fair housing. The other would be their kid is a special needs, right? So disability is a protection. And then also they mentioned about wanting to move in before Easter, so that way they can be able to celebrate with their family. That is religion. So those are already 3 protected classes right there. And so it can be really tricky when a seller has already read a letter. They got to be careful when they're accepting or rejecting. It has to be based on it has to be an objective response or objective reasoning as to why they don't want to move forward with the offer. So for buyers, in my opinion, when it comes to writing those love letters, don't, because it can definitely cause some issues in the long run. One of the things you can do is talk with your agent and have your agent talk with the seller's agent and say, "Hey, besides price, what else is the seller interested to make sure that our offer can be able to stand out? Are they looking for a quick closing, or do they need time to find their next house? Do they have a certain contingency factor that they have to deal with before selling?" So certain things like that, to get to know about the seller a little bit more and then incorporate that objectively into the offer. And the other thing is, if you can be able to write a clean offer as much as possible, meaning if you can be able to waive the home inspection contingency, if you are going to be over asking on the price of the home, will you be able to make up the difference if the appraised value on the home is not worth what it is, right? So if the house is worth listed for $300,000 and you go put an offer for $320,000, right, and your offer gets accepted, but then you find out that it's appraised for $310,000, are you willing to be able to pay the $10,000 difference cash? So little things like that I could definitely go into a whole nother video about contingency factors, but the most important thing in this video here is just understanding when it comes to writing love letters, leave it to your friends and family. They'll appreciate it more. So I'll see you guys in the next video.